Hey everyone, let's talk about Fina The Return, aka Peak Alum Design, aka we don't care about the game anymore. But yeah, the most infuriating part about Fina, she would be fine if she were a regular unit, but she is not. She is a premium unit, and this video is meant to be showing why is she even considered a premium unit? Is there any saving grace? And the answer may shock you. So let's get started. The overview, she's a light emperor. She has a few healing abilities, but they are all bad compared to units such as Kresnik. The example ability, birds. Does it say? Bird Slayer, exactly. Kind of confused. Anyway, 160% avian killer at EX plus 2. On the JP it was EX 3, but we get this at EX 2. For turns, all allies, nice. Kind of weird that she has an avian killer type, but I'm sure the story will explain this. I will not read it. Otherwise, the regular kit, it does look like it's a lot. Trust me, it's not. It gets bloated by all these magic abilities she has. Most notably is the 10 turn cooldown available turn 1, which I find kind of weird. 125 demon human killer. By the way, Esther has a rather similar ability, not a 10 turn cooldown, but just semantics. And yeah, 60 LB gauge to self, which is nice, but who cares? She's an SLB unit. She fills the LB gauge instantly when she gets ready for SLB. Then there is her Holy Imbue or Light Imbue with 30% amp. Funnily enough, it also is a light and dark resistance buff by 100%, so that's cool, I guess. And she has a magic asterisk. SPR scaling ability in boarding strike frames. So the asterisk indicates that this uses physical killers, which is nice. However, this is all enemies. All enemies means if the boss dies prematurely, this ability cancels out instantly. So while it is cool that she has bolting strike frames, it is really bad that this is an all enemy attack. Otherwise, she also has Chaos Wave Awakened frames via Banishka, the usual modifier for TX, SPR scaling, all enemies, again, which is the usual for Banishka. And then there's the supporting stuff. She has a few heals, she has re-raise, etc. The usual. I included the Shelga and Protectga here, which are very standard. Every quote-unquote support unit has these days. And then the passive side of things, which has a few neat things. At the start of the battle, she grants that 9k barrier to the party, which I feel like is nice to have. But in Dark Visions / Vision World, we are not supposed to take damage, but we are allowed to take up to 5k points of damage, which is a change they made for this Vision World, and it will continue throughout. So we are allowed to take 5k damage. Now, most units will survive a 5k attack. So that barrier, it doesn't really do much. Then there is the evocation stuff, which is a 30% light damage amp, or light damage amp field, I should say, which is physical and magical damage done, which increases by this field. And this field is your party side only, which is very cool because it does not interfere with, say, Nyx's field, which is enemy only. So that is the good kind of field, which I do personally like. When she's wearing her TMR or STMR, she also gains 200% Omni Killer, physical and magical, which is cool. Although her damage is absolutely useless. And she gains an auto ability at the start of the battle, revival, or after Brave Shift, meaning after SLB. Because for some reason, Alum considers SLBs Brave Shifts, but okay, dude. And that one is a counterattack, or yeah, it enables a counterattack, which then enables her auto attack, which is a magic asterisk, again physical damage, with SPR scaling and a 1k heal to all party members. It's pretty much what Xiao does with Blizzard Orb, but she does it from, she doesn't need that additional item for that. So that's cool, I guess, but a 1k heal isn't that much. I mean, it scales still, but oh well. It's nice to have. Like, I'm really downplaying her kit because I'm kind of salty that she's considered premium. But yeah, I mean, for a supporter unit, that's okay to have. I really like the Omni Killer stuff. It's just a dump that she has no actual damaging skills, other than that useless 40x chain, which she won't do damage. I don't know what Alam thought. If she's a premium unit, she's supposed to have at least one big nuke ability, which she doesn't have, and that's kind of, I don't know. It feels redundant to give her anything at this point. So, the SLB, while we are at it, and LB for that matter. The LB and SLB, they do exactly the same thing. It's just that the LB has lower stats. So let's talk about the SLB right away. It's a 30% bow imperil. Now the bow imperil at the time, or for the moment being, isn't really all that important. But once Firion gets his Chronicle weapon, the bow imperil will come in very handy. But I would guess that by the time this happens, we're not gonna use light elements anymore. But we'll see. Knights of Graduate are still on the horizon, and maybe we will switch to light-based teams going forward. It's hard to predict. I don't want to be caught with my pants down when I say this. So let's say maybe there is a chance for light teams, maybe there's not. But the Bow Imperial, it's for Firion basically, who will get his Chronic weapon soon. The most important parts here, 400% all stats, 300% LB, 45% light amp. That's the good stuff. It's basically the lower part. If you remove the bow imperial, this is basically Cetra Descendant Aerith's limit burst, but without the imbue. And for that, yeah, it's good. It's really good, especially the 300% LB buff. That is what I really like about this. And I would guess that the premium tag comes from this SLB. Because the only units that have 400% stats are premium units, Cetra, Aerith, and Fina for that matter. Do I find this a dumb excuse to make her more expensive? Absolutely. But, I mean, it's a good SLB, it's pretty much the best thing, and the only really good thing about her kit, for that matter. TMR, STMR, Vision Card. Now this is where things get a little bit better, because the TMR and STMR, they are really good. The TMR is a killer materia, 50% avian demon killer, while the demon killer is rather common, the avian killer is not. And it also has 4 LB crystals per turn, which I personally like very much. So I would rate this materia rather highly, it's really good. The Super Trust Master is a magic and spirit hat, 80 magic, 100 spirit, which is really strong, especially with that combination of stats. 50% dark resistance and more killers, 50% beast and aquatic. Beast, rather common, but aquatic on the other hand is rather uncommon, so I do like this a lot. It's a very, very good killer hat, and yeah, I mean, stats really nice. It's 20 spirit lower than the Clash diadem, so I do like this a lot. It's a very good STMR, no joke here, it's really good. The Vision Card, on the other hand, it's the absolute worst, and I don't know how this got a pass for a premium unit, but it's 1k base HP, 100 base defense and spirit, 15% MP recovery per turn, 30% all element resistance, and auto revive at the start of the battles for supporting units only. Well, the animation of the Vision Card is okay-ish. I find this rather dull. None of these passives or base stats make this a premium unit. I'm so sorry to say, but this is the worst, the absolute worst vision card I've seen in months. I don't know what they were thinking with this, especially on a premium unit. This is an insult to all players. It's an insult to all premium units. Straight up garbage tier. If I saw this on a regular SLB unit, say Roca for example, I would say, yeah, it's bad, but it's okay, she's not premium. But this being on a premium unit, it's really infuriating. There's no saving grace for this vision card, other than, yeah, that you'd only get one for EX plus freeing her, and that's the good thing, because it won't clog up your vision card inventory. Because for me personally, by the time I will EX plus free Fina, it'll be a few months from now, so that's good. It's not gonna clog my vision card inventory. So yeah, the verdict, TMR, STMR, pretty good in general. Actually really good is Super Trustmaster with its rare killer type, and the vision card, like I said, it's just dumpster fire. So yeah, Fina The Return, like I did with Leftia, let's do the same for Fina The Return. Let's compare her to Roca and Citra Descendant Aerith. And what we see here, much like with Leftia, she is more or less a carbon copy from Roca, minus the CD cooldown reduction. She has that 30% bow imperil. She also adds in that light field for your party via Behemoth, so that's good. But otherwise, she is rather similar to Citra Descendant Aerith in terms of stat buffs, LB buffs, amps, where she is just slightly higher than Citra Aerith. So yeah, at the end of the day, is she better than Citra Aerith? It really depends. For light teams, certainly, just because of the 300% LB buff. However, if you are memeing it up for Citra Descendant Holy memes, for example, which is something I would have loved to see on Fina, why does she not get Holy, just like Citra Aerith? This would have been such a good fit. Give her that Holy nuke, everything would have been fine. I would be so happy about this, but she doesn't have Holy. And I feel like that's a huge oversight. So yeah, verdict is, she's just marginally better than Aerith. But most of the time, if you're using a Holy meme strat, I will use them both anyway. So yeah, the verdict, she's a 4 out of 10, just like most of the other Ampers or Breaker units. There's just no saving grace here for her, honestly. She has a niche, and that niche is light-based teams. The good side of things, the very good SLB, the 200% Omni Killer, the 30% Bow Emperor. The bad things, she has no Emperor, which I hate a lot. She has a one-dimensional SLB kit, she has 0 damage potential, and I deducted an extra point for her garbage tier vision card, because usually this would be just -1. However, she's a premium unit, and I feel like when a premium unit has such a bad vision card, it is warranted to deduct an additional point just for this stupidity and laziness of the devs by not giving her something more appropriate for a premium unit. Which is why she ends up being at 4 out of 10. If you want to be a little bit more lenient than I am, you can make this a 5 out of 10, but, well, I don't think we should give Alum a pass for this trash tier card, so -2 it is. The overall verdict on Fina The Return. She's got a stacked SLB, great TMR, STMR, but otherwise she is highly underwhelming in every aspect. She does not feel premium at all, and she is a bench warmer at best. However, the saving grace are 2 things. One, there is the current vision world, where she perfectly lines up with the killer types for the final boss, Demon Human. And she offers great utility in light-based teams. If you use a team with Esther, Knights of Grandshield, or Holy Dragoon Kane, she does fit very well in that, because she buffs a lot of things all those units need. She also helps Lara Croft, who can wear bows, if I'm not totally mistaken. She should be able, because Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games always uses bows, so I'm pretty sure Lara Croft can use bows. So that's another option for that unit. So yeah, as you can see, she does have her utility in light-based teams. The question is, will light-based teams become meta? And that is what we are going to find out very soon, depending on how Gumi is going to treat Dark Visions and the upcoming super hard alum trials going forward, because if those still have that 500% light resistance, I don't see light teams really being a thing outside Dark Visions, maybe, unless Gumi also changes how Dark Vision works, but I hope they don't. I personally like light teams, but we'll see. For now, it's a mixed bag. I don't feel like she's premium at all, worth premium tag at all, but she's a decent unit for a niche case, which is light teams. And with that, we are closing this review. Thank you all for watching. Next week, by the way, I do have a very long weekend. It's Easter, so Easter Friday, next week is a public holiday in Germany. Monday is a public, the Monday after that is a public holiday in Germany as well, meaning I have a very long weekend ahead, so there will be more content coming. I might revisit budget guides for the next week. I made very good progress on my master's thesis, so things are looking up. Maybe I'll do a few budget guides next week for whatever comes, but it's not going to be on Thursday. I have other plans on Thursday, so most likely there will be no video on Thursday, but it's all coming on Friday. Whatever unit comes on Thursday, I will review it on Saturday next week. That's what I plan to do. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're from. See you next week. Bye bye.